Yeah.
And then, so you went through university here?
Yeah.
And got a BFA?
Yeah, and I seriously had no intentions of being a teacher until my
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
How did I get into this?
But it was interesting to say seriously that I wouldn't have cared as much had I not started it since summer.
Yeah.
Because it was sort of an intensive thing in PA, and it wasn't as much in Saskatoon, so I think the classes were a bit bigger, and George was sort of in your face, but in a great way, you know? And that had a big impact, I think. Yeah,
and it's sometimes that contact early on with a really great teacher.
Yeah.
That kind of sets.
And he's supportive in just enough, you know, kind of way. So, yeah.
Good. So let's look at the urban scenes that you've got there. So these are Saskatoon scenes, sort of from around your neighborhood. Is that right?
Yeah. We for the most part maybe downtown City Park and West Side, I think a bit, and so that's on 25th Street West, I think, right in the building. And then the pink one is the building I live in City Park. And I used to, when I painted urban scenes, I always painted only the buildings that I lived in for some reason. I wanted like a serious connection to these paintings, but I can't, you know, carry on doing that forever.
It limits you.
I will.
You've only lived in one building.
But I do.
If you move all the time, you've got to curve.
I'm lucky to have an unstable life like that. But, so I kind of picked that habit, and with Lorenzo, I have a car and van, so first you gotta go in there.
Expenditure. Broaden your horizon. Literally,
but yeah, so I got into photographs, so it was totally setting up the easel, very traditional style, and in that way the subject is almost overwhelming because there's so much information going on and there's so much around you that you're not even painting that you kind of have to ignore. And it's just that completely heightens, I think, the sense of to start painting and to do the whole painting. A photograph would just be very different.
Right. So you're actually setting up, like say the Young 25th Street one there. Mm-hmm. You're actually setting up in front of that with your canvas easel and painting it right there.
Yeah.
But is it sort of a one-shot deal for that painting? Or would you take it back to the studio and kind of...
Oh, no, absolutely. What I would do is I do drawing, like preliminary stuff. It's always a spontaneous thing. However, I start with paint right on the canvas, but it is in more of a line drawing sense. And I might fill in the color. I'm pretty sure that's what I did. It depends on how long we would stay up there. It could be an hour, could be less. But I sort of felt like I would be wasting time if I was sort of starting too much there. And then I'd bring them to my studio and probably work for a couple more sessions. But at that point, when I'm starting to finish the painting, it's not so much about what was exactly there in the scene. It's more now about color and, you know, shapes and whatnot. Don't you think it's one of my most animated paintings? Like it's
one of your most animated?
Well, it looks like it could be in a comic book to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I wouldn't say it's the most animated. I kind of generally think of your paintings are pretty animated. They're not like simple, quiet.
But I think more than the same one. For some reason, it seems more like it could be a storybook or something. But I don't know. I don't really know why.
You know, but there is something about like the kind of distortions of the building. It's like it's almost it's bulging.
Yeah.
It's like the stairway is kind of crooked and
it's not in good shape.
Yeah, like and that. Yeah, even the sidewalk is everything's a little off, and the perspective is a little off, but it somehow sits right on the canvas.
Yeah.
But if you try to actually kind of think about it in a logical perspective, right, it doesn't really
make sense. But like even just driving by that building instantly, it was like I needed to paint it. It is just like this building needing to be a painting or whatever. I mean, like major character.
So, looking at the still life paintings, there's 4 in the show, still life paintings, that have really kind of hold my interest, and they were all kind of different. Like, for instance, the one right behind you, the black and the paint tubes, has this really great kind of graphic image there. That's the black to the white, the kind of line drawing. Also, the way it's painted is there's a kind of freshness to it there. That's really, really interesting. Now, if I compare it to the other one with the pink and yellow, the kitchen scene, the way it's painted, that looks like it took years to paint. The black and white one looks like it was an afternoon, whereas the kitchen one is like you banged your head against the wall, the kitchen wall to do that.
So incredibly the opposite of what you're saying.
Is that right?
Oh, for sure. Usually a painting would take me maybe 3 or 4 kind of painting sessions, getting back to it. This I just went to my studio in the evening because I think I was bored, and I just painted something. I didn't set up an easel in front of this painting. I think I just painted out of my imagination. And I never really, in my mind, finished it. I sort of just set it aside. And then this one more, I think I repeatedly came back to it and banged my head again.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Because it has a kind of freshness to it.
Do you love for this painting because of you? Because of the show.
Because of the show. No, but it's the kind of distinct character for each painting that is interesting.
Well,
like on a general level, you could walk into the show and think, okay, you're interested, like bright color, interesting, like thick oil paint application kind of thing. And you can kind of generalize it like that, but then when you actually look at each painting, there's a kind of specific thing going on in each painting, which makes an interesting show.
Yeah, thanks.